Gold. Now, it has sort of become this tradition that every Republic Day and Independence Day, every year, we get a patriotic themed movie by Akshay Kumar. Now, is this patriotic movie any good? Is it what we expect out of him? Or is it the same old generic thing wrapped in a patriotic package? Let's find out in this full review of Gold. Before we begin, if this is your first time here or in case you just can't remember, my name is Vineet and you're watching the Afterthoughts network. Let's get to it. First of all, a really happy Independence Day to all of you. Yes, it's 15th August, that time of the year. Now, Gold stars Akshay Kumar, Mouni, Amit Sadh, Vineet, Singh, Kunal Kapoor, Nikita, Dutta in major roles, not the lead roles I would say, but major roles, yes, and has been written and directed by Reema Kadgi. Now, let's begin by the acting. I think the acting of all the characters in this movie was pretty good, especially Akshay Kumar. He has done some really great performance in this, carrying an accent and the dialogue delivery in a typical Bengali Hindi fashion. Mouni Roy has done some great work. I mean, she has done some really good acting in this movie. Not talking about her looks, I didn't like her looks. But yes, her acting was pretty spot on. What was required from the character and what she brought to the table, it was pretty spot on. Kunal Kapoor is, I would say, a glorified cameo because he's not that much in this movie. He has a pretty small role which could even be qualified as a cameo. Other than that, Amit Sadh has done some good acting. All the other characters which have major roles have done pretty good acting. So acting wise, this movie is really good. The story of the movie is about the first Indian hockey team, which was after the British left India and India started playing hockey as the Indian team and not the British Indian team which they used to play earlier before 1947. Till 1947, India used to play as a British Indian team. They were undefeated champions for last 3-4 years, and now India plays as an independent country. So it is a pretty important history lesson wrapped up in this story. And going into this movie, I had pretty low expectations because the trailers, while portrayed a great concept, did not look very great and inviting to the movie. I was expecting a pretty generic Akshay Kumar patriotic movie wrapped up in this cute little package of a sports movie. But when I started watching this movie, I was pleasantly surprised by it because it's not that at all. It is actually a sports drama packaged in a typical Akshay Kumar patriotic movie. So it is exactly opposite of what I went in with the expectations. I would not call this a sports movie, it's a sports drama and not a typical sports movie because it has a lot of drama and baggage that goes on with the sports and not the exact sports itself. So that is something you have to keep in mind, and I'll talk more about it when I talk about the negatives of this movie. But yes, going for the positives, it's a really good concept. Not that great execution, but yes, it is a great concept. The acting was good, the music was fairly decent, and the performances all throughout were pretty decent. And the entertainment factor of this movie was immense because while I was watching the movie, I was thoroughly entertained. And I could overlook the flaws of the movie, which are plenty enough. But yes, I could overlook the flaws and it was pretty entertaining while I was watching it. Now, Gold has been directed by Reema Kadgi, who made her debut as a director with Honeymoon Travels Private Limited and then went on to do Talash. Both of those movies were really great movies, although I did not enjoy Talash that much. But yes, they were really good movies, widely accepted by critics and loved by the audience. And I think this movie goes on in the same league. Because while it may not be technically correct or have major flaws that critics do have a problem with, but the entertainment factor of this movie really puts this movie forward. She has written some great stuff with Dil Dhadakne Do, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, Talash, I mean, the stories were incredible. Maybe the execution not so much, but yes, the stories she writes are really good. And even in this movie, Gold, the story written and presented to you is really engaging and touching in some parts. But yes, the execution is not that much. Let's talk more about the execution. First of all, the characters of this movie. The characters, apart from the main characters, that is Akshay Kumar, who plays this Bengali Indian hockey manager of Tapan Das, his wife played by Mouni Roy, and the main performers in the Indian hockey team, that are two characters, or rather three characters. Apart from them, all the other side actors, supporting actors, are basically one note characters. They are just like filler spots. They need what the story needs them to be and nothing more. You do not get any deep dive into their characters. They are not even memorable. You won't even remember them going out of this movie. That is one of the major flaws of this movie, that apart from these 4-5 main characters, there is a single note performance by everyone on the screen. I mean, 80% of the Indian hockey team is just generic. You don't even know their names. There's no character development. There's no backstory to their characters. I mean, that's just not how a sports movie is done. I mean, take Chak De for example. Now, Chak De was a movie. It was a through and through sports movie. It had some sports drama to it. It had some political intrigue behind the scenes, etc., political rivalry. But it was a sports movie through and through. And all the characters, even if you don't remember their names today, you know what the characters were. They had their personalities. Some of them had backstories. They had their own character. They were all three-dimensional characters, which this movie certainly lacks, and you feel it while watching this movie. Another negative of this movie is, while this movie is very consistent all throughout and Akshay Kumar gives a great performance as Tapan Das, but there is some inconsistency in his performance. I mean, in one of the scenes, if you have heard the songs, in one of the scenes he is drunk and he starts singing in North Indian Hindi mixed with Punjabi. I mean, he's supposed to be a Bengali character. That's it. He speaks Hindi in a Bengali accent. How come he starts drinking and he starts singing in a Punjabi accent? I mean, I cannot believe that. How inconsistent is that? I mean, if I start drinking, I will not suddenly start speaking in a Tamilian accent. I will speak how I speak, even if what I speak makes no sense. So that is something that really took me out of this movie, and I just wanted to check out of this movie. But then the movie pulls you back in again with the political drama and the sports drama that it has going on. But that was a really big negative for me. Now, another major flaw of this movie I found, this is a sports movie about the Indian hockey team, and there's no training of the Indian hockey team. Yes, they train for a bit, like 5 minutes in this movie, which was supposed to be 3 months in the entire story arc in this movie, in what this movie is set. But apart from the 3 months, they get basically no training. There's no coach. Even when the team goes to London to play in the Olympics in 1948, there's no coach with the team. I mean, how inconsistent can you get? How can you forget that detail? Why is the coach not with the team and the team is only accompanied by one manager and the team? That's it. There's no extra pair of hands. There's no assistant coaches. There are no physical fitness coaches. There's no nutritionist. Nothing. There's just this one manager, one co-manager, which is played by Akshay Kumar, and then there's the team. That's it. Now, the final negative of this movie is that This movie falls into the Bollywoodification of things. I mean, it was a great concept, and if the movie had been made in a more realistic, more grounded approach, it would have been a really good movie. But no, they had to just Bollywoodify it up, add songs, add some drama, add rivalry, add the weather inconsistencies, for God's sake. I mean, why you have to cram so much into it and make the story complicated? Not everything needs to be complicated. You can present a simple storyline with some complications so that there is intrigue by the audience. But yes, a simple storyline works. We have seen it done many times and works flawlessly if done right. Sure, complicated stories work too, but when done right, this has not been done right. That's why the more complications they add, the more illogical this movie tends to be. And in the end, in the final, the Olympic matches, logic is completely thrown out the window. I mean, there's so many things going on that even at one point you start to see, okay, that happens. I guess, okay, I'll take it because there's nothing else you can do. And being a sports movie, the sports has not been shot very well. I mean, the shooting of hockey sequences in Chak De were brilliant. The ground to ground shots, the camera work while playing hockey was really great. And in this movie, you really see the difference of cinematography, the difference of directors. That in a sports movie, the sports has not been shot very well. That's why I say this is not a sports movie. It is a sports drama packaged in a neat patriotic Akshay Kumar package and presented to you on screen. It is decently enjoyable and you will enjoy it while you are in the theater. But this movie is full of inconsistencies, no character development, not that good music. Okay, it's decent music. And most of the time the jokes don't land. Scenes are done just for the sake of the jokes, which is not something I really like in a movie. Sure, humor is good, but when you do an entire scene just for the sake of the joke and the joke does not land, I mean, that is just wasting screen time. So all in all, it is an enjoyable movie for the time you're watching the movie. This is nothing to write home about. It is not a thought-provoking movie. I would recommend that you watch this movie. Yes, it gets a recommendation from me because I enjoyed it nevertheless. Did not fall in love with this movie, but yes, while I was in the theater, I did enjoy myself. So this movie gets a recommendation from me. So did you watch this movie or are you planning to watch this movie? Please write it down in the comment section below and let me know what did you think about it. In case you like this review, please give us a thumbs up. If you hated it for some reason, give it a thumbs down. Hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever a new video drops. Till that happens, my name is Puneet and you're watching the Afterthoughts Network. Bye bye.